Right now, we're joined by UDM leader Bantu Holomisa, who's going to give us his reaction to the allegations and the way forward as far as this matter is concerned. General, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. There are various processes, as I'm sure you are aware, maybe not through official channels, but being a person who is on social media and you can see these things, certainly you are aware that, one, there is a letter that is coming from RMT, I believe, that was directed to the chair of the committee, Section 194 committee, for him to voluntarily recuse himself. He has then since responded to that letter saying, well, look, firstly, I do not recognize RMT as your legal representation because they're not representing you currently in the committee. But secondly, I cannot recuse myself, be it voluntarily, based on some media statements and things that you have not brought formally to the committee as evidence for this committee to consider. But then we also know that there is a letter that has been now sent to the public protector on how proceedings are now going to go ahead in terms of a change of format. So looking at all that and looking at what came out of the media briefing of the public protector today, what's your feeling as the UDM?
Tabo, first things first, I think you are asking those questions to a wrong person. The person who you should first of all have direct those questions to, there are two in fact, is the ANC and the DA. The question you should be asking them is, firstly, given the WhatsApp which have been circulated in the media for the last 2 weeks or so, and today's revelations of the voice notes, the question you should be asking them is, one, do they recognize the voice of the late Minister, Mrs. Pettersson? If the answer is in the affirmative, the next question you should be posing to them, what is their way forward? Now let me try and guess to answer your question, therefore. The United Democratic Movement has been consistent from day one that this, in fact, we were even vindicated by the Western Cape Court to say the suspension of the public protector is illegal. And as you know, the ANC, through its president and DA, appealed that decision. It's almost 6 months or even more than that since that decision, or a court decision, was issued in favor of the public protector to say the president has acted illegal. Guess what? The onus now is on the Chief Justice of this country and the Concord as to when are you pronouncing the judgment on that appeal. Full stop. Let me come now back to what is you were narrating earlier on.
Yeah.
The public protector has demonstrated in no uncertain terms that yes, there has been this approach to my husband, and this is the proof. Now, we don't have to argue or prove beyond reasonable doubt. Now, balance of probabilities is sufficient enough that the ruling party should advise their chairperson, who is reluctant to do it on his own, to step down and let the ANC and DA come up with another chairperson, and we continue and finalize this inquiry. So I am not going to waste your time.
Yeah.
The truth has been revealed.
Okay.
You will recall that 2 weeks ago or last week, I asked the Speaker I asked the committee that we should approach the Speaker
Yes.
to cause the portfolio committee on police, wherein they should summon these SAPs, to come up with a preliminary investigation as to, is this a hoax story, or is this serious, or is this not serious?
Yes.
What is preliminary investigation so far? So that we can take a decision in the committee, or that Parliament can take a decision to say those who are accused or who are implicated in this and these serious allegations should not be part of the inquiry.
Yes.
So the ball is back into the court of the ruling party and the DA.
Did the Speaker or the Secretary of Parliament respond to that? Because I was coming to that you wrote to them and you said, well, look, find out from the police actually what this evidence means as far as the work of the committee is concerned, and whether those who are allegedly implicated there can continue. Did they respond to that letter?
They did respond in this so similar, typical way of doing so by this ruling party. Yes, we acknowledge receipt. The matter will be brought to the attention of the Speaker. So far, we can say there has not been any response from her, other than the acknowledgement of receipt of what we sent to them. But who cares? We know that the law enforcement agencies in this country and other state institutions which are charged to investigate matters of this nature, they will never come back to you. We have a president today who almost a year ago has been accused of serious allegations, and we were told that the public protector and the law enforcement agencies are investigating this matter, those allegations.
Yeah.
We are none wiser than today, still. So, as long as we think that as long as we are under the rule or the control or led by the ruling party today called the ANC, the rule of law will never be experienced by the people of South Africa. You are wasting your time.
General, I don't know what the police are doing and what the police will do, particularly with the audio that was released today, and apparently they have other audio which was not released today, and how that particular evidence is going to be treated as far as linking allegations of the involvement of the chairperson of the portfolio committee, or rather the Section 194 committee, as well as the chief whip of the ANC. As the UDM, how are you treating that particular aspect of linking what is alleged to be the late Tina Joemat-Pettersson and the husband of the public protector and those two individuals?
If I was the head of government or a head of a ruling party, I would advise that the Speaker should seriously consider asking the chairperson, who has said he has nothing to hide and is not involved. I would have said, in the interest of this inquiry, and also in the integrity of the inquiry and that of the ruling party itself, I would have advised that he should recall or appoint another chairperson. There are so many competent people in that inquiry from the ruling party. I don't want even to waste your time in mentioning names, but there are so many of them who can easily replace the current chairperson. So it's not indispensable. Let's get another chairperson and we finalize this inquiry as soon as possible.
I saw your hashtag. You're saying choreographed inquiry. The public protector says she's not surprised to hear the committee now saying they will abandon oral evidence and they are going to go on written evidence to expedite the matter. What do you mean by choreographed inquiry? Is that what you're relating to?
I merely stole the term of the public protector when he says this is choreographed setup, but I use that term. But the truth of the matter is that there is no way that we can have confidence in the current leadership, evidence leaders. Remember, the records are going to be replayed again. The same witnesses which were paraded by the evidence leaders are on record as having said that they didn't prepare some of their evidences. They queried some of the sentences and paragraphs, but they said, no, I didn't say this. This was prepared by the evidence leaders. So you can see that there's a big conspiracy. If the judiciary were, call it independent, if our judiciary is still independent, as we used to know, there's no case here. The evidence leaders, witnesses, chairperson, there's no case here. I'm sorry. So, I will speak.
Are you still committed as the UTM to continue with this inquiry?
Yes, I will continue. But I must continue up until the last day. But we must expose his shenanigans. I'm not going to be persuaded on this one. Where you have a public protector who has had a clean record in terms of the PMFA regulations, the auditors have not found her wanting, and then you have people who say because the judges he has failed so many cases, 5 or whatever. But what about the other 60,000 which he has presided over and found some or came up with remedial actions, and the State Department have failed the people of South Africa by not implementing those remedial actions. And then you say, all right, you chase this person because she gave a version or differed that the president of the country was elected illicitly by bribing branches. No, it's unethical. So we're not going to be part of that. Whether they can come, DA and ANC vote against the public protector today or tomorrow, but we will tell the world that this is an abuse of power. President was being investigated by about 3 or 4 cases. And then when the public protector asked questions, then she is suspended. Then the courts of this country said she was suspended illegally. And then they appealed. President and the DA appealed.
Right.
6 months later, the Constitutional Court is shy to pronounce on that appeal. No, we're not going to be part of that. That's why we supported this struggle. We were not supporting the struggle for people to abuse us. No.
General, let's leave it there. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on tonight. UDM leader, Bantu Holomisa there.